Good morning, everybody. Huh. Happy Wednesday. And if hump day means anything to any of us, then happy hump day. I'm Belinda, and we're here with Just Be Yoga and our home yoga practice live on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Please feel free to comment alongside here and let me know, if you're here and if there's any requests that you're having. Always love feedback about what you're gaining from our practice so that we can continue to provide and share and give some guidance and connect with one another. That's yoga, so we get to connect. With home yoga practice on Tuesdays, we've been kind of diving deep into an aspect of philosophy or structure. And yesterday, we started off with looking at the structure of our space. So, as many of you heard yesterday, this is a new space that I'm putting together here for our home yoga practices, my own personal practice, as well as kind of like a yoga practice studio. And talk about aspects that we need in our space, whether, our equipment as far as our mat and our blocks and stuff. I think I'm going to get some interlock flooring to put underneath of this. But for now, I got one of these really super hard mats underneath of my mat to give me a little bit more sturdiness. Ventilation, lighting, and I'm not saying to construct anything. You could use the very middle of your living room if need be. If privacy is big for you, making sure that you can have that space. Or are you looking to make your practice flexible so that you can roll it out in the backyard? You can roll it out in the middle of a room. You can roll it out as you're traveling and know what it is that you need so that, when you're in your space, on your mat or on your blanket or whatever, you know that you have kind of plugged in to the socket, the outlet of your practice, and can begin. All right. Well, today on Wednesdays, we work on powering things up. And with the heat coming, at least here in Michigan, it's already been up in the 90s. I thought that we would talk about different ways in which we can heat up our practice. So that's what I will be weaving in and out as I explore moving today. Remember that I am sharing my home yoga practice with you. Please modify, make variations. I will try to recall now and again to offer out different modifications for you. Have a block and a strap nearby, a block, a book, a stool, a towel, a belt, whatever you can use to help you find a different grip on different areas of your body. And we'll start sitting on our mat. Actually, why don't we start today in child's pose and just kind of get moving and work on thinking about what needs to be heated up within us. So I'll invite us to get started into our child's pose, if child's pose is accessible to you. Well, widen our knees and sink our hips back. Some of us prefer to bring our knees together. I like to start off with my knees wide for child's pose. Finding some rest and some ease in my body. Doing my physical body check-in, feeling all of my limbs, my organs, my bones, my flesh, and just asking and feeling, how are you? With each breath, arrive on your mat mentally. Arrive on your mat with a willingness to observe and accept. Now breathe in and come forward to hands and knees. And then just lay the belly down. And breathe in and lift the chest just a little, cobra. Exhale, lower. I'm going to take a pause because I'm feeling all of the activity that little bit of activity and noticing that my back said, okay, I really sped that up. So when I turn on my gas, am I turning on my gas too quickly? Or should I kind of ease my way in? So as we're developing our self-practice, our personal practice, let the body's response, let your mind's response help guide you into your pacing and into your choice of movement. I'll breathe in and lift my chest. Exhale, lower. So that second time in, the body has loosened up. It's starting to acclimate and say yes more than saying no. For me, breath in and breath out. Good. I'm going to come up to hands and knees. All right, so I'm going to stack my wrists under my shoulders, my knees under my hip bones. I just woke up, my back, my spine, a little bit of upper body strength, and nice little check-in on what's going on with my body. I'm going to do a few cat and cows. And as I do that, I'm start to just fire up the engine of continuous movement. All right, so I'm going to breathe in and lift, breathe out and round. Breathing in and lifting, breathing out and rounding. So I'm going to talk a little bit about reflecting on heat as we're going back and forth. Heating up can come in so many forms. Our pace can heat us up. The types of postures that we're holding and choosing can heat us up a little bit more or less than others. Duration of how long or how often we do something. Our space itself, you could heat it up artificially by turning heat on. You could have elements in the space that make your mind get into that hot space. I'm going to find a neutral space. I'm going to bring my left hand to behind my head and twist my chest open. And then exhale, elbow touches elbow. And breathe in and twist. So just smooth, continuous movement. Now pause and stop when you need to pause and stop. But we're here today exploring heating up and empowering ourselves to experience our heat. Where am I noticing it in my body? What's heating up in my mind? Do I like heat? Do I not like heat? How am I responding? What is being created in terms of space in the heat? When I heat things up, what do I get to see differently? What am I making room for? Twist and hold, 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 and release. I'm going to tuck my toes, lift my hips down, dog. Breath in. Breath out. Now maybe you keep your knees soft. Perhaps you need to come down after just a breath or two in your down dog. Perhaps your down dog is a nice little home base and you like to hang out in it, pressing the heels down, starting to straighten those legs, tilting the tailbone up, and feel that stretch point in the upper part of the back of your thighs, the upper part of the hamstrings when you tilt the tailbone up. Pressing the heels down, and now we'll add in the experience in the calf muscles. Where in the calf muscles are you feeling this? Is it on the outer edges, coming around toward the front of the calf? Is it more toward the midline? Get to know your interior landscape. Breath in, breath out, bringing those knees down. Right hand behind the head, twisting it open and closing. So now as we're going and you're starting to feel either your heart is starting to beat a little bit more rapidly, or you're just feeling heat generating in your body. We're not here to burn ourselves up. We're still here to practice yoga, connecting, observing. Remember, we're just here to observe and accept. And that means that we also accept when we need to pause. Are we twisting open and closed? Feel your midsection. Start to notice what's fatiguing. And does fatigue mean I have to stop? Ask yourself. Breath. Finding a pace that's yours. And if that is foreign to you, just change your pacing now and again. Make it a little slower. Make it a little faster. And observe what you like. Observe what you notice about yourself. Breath. And I'm going to twist it open. Breathe in. Breathe out. And I'm going to release that arm down, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up, down dog. Breath in. Make a choice. I'm going to walk my feet out a little wider this time. It's a nice, delicious way for me to work my sacrum, work the backs of my legs. Good. And then I'll bring my knees down. I'm going to walk the knees back and lower myself down. Breath in and lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Good. I'm going to bring the arms out in front. Lifting the chest, shoulders down, lifting up through the top of my head. Relaxing my belly. So if you're the kind of person who likes to shy away from a practice that says that it is going to be hot or heated or power, does that mean that we don't want to find exertion? Because you can feel and explore the depths of your power without having to go super fast, without it having to resemble any sort of rip and run fitness class. But let's all be honest about what it is that gives us that sense of aversion. Be honest with ourselves. I'm going to walk the hands in a little bit further, shoulders back, lifting the chest, relax my backside, my glutes. I'm going to tilt the chin up and down. So heat is generating, especially when we start to hit the limits of the edges. That takes a little bit more work for us to sustain. That's what I mean by that edge. When we start to feel that amplify, needing to do a little bit more work, a little bit more concentration to sustain whatever it is we're doing. Because we have to pour a little bit more energy. We have to spend a little bit more gas. Turning the neck. Still lifting the chest, okay? Now, it's really easy to start to be in some of these spaces, not really doing much. Lifting the breastbone, applying energy down through the arms. Breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. I'll walk the hands back alongside my waist, pressing my way up, and I'm going to find child's pose. Giving the back a little bit of relief from that work we just did. And I'll do a little counter pose. All heat also probably needs to be tempered, right? We can't just be in heat, 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 go, go, go. So I'm going to bring my inner thighs together, finding a clasp either on the ankles or shins, whatever works for you, okay? You can hold on to your calf. I'm going to bring my head as close to my knees as I can. And I'm going to roll onto the top of my head, lifting my hips gently. There's no goal about how much lifting. You can feel the lifting. You're going to feel the back of your neck rounding a bit. And see if you can put some energy into pulling the shoulders up toward the ceiling. Breathing in, breathing out. As you can see, I have some body parts that tend to make breathing a challenge, so I have to navigate them. I can move them around. Breath in, breath out. And bring myself up. I'm going to bring my hands behind me, pushing the hips up. Breath. Bringing that back down. So repeated action can also build heat. I'm going to bring the head back down, lift the hips. This is called Apanasana or rabbit's pose. Breath in, breath out, lowering the hips down. Hands behind me, in my own time, my breath, left, and lower that down. And coming on back forward, reaching, head down, holding on, and lift. Wonderful countering, stretching out the back and front of us, alternating. But as you can see, as you continue here, we can feel a little bit of energy starting to percolate. Just percolate. Lengthen and lift. Breath in, breath out. Feel the back of your neck accepting this stretching, this movement. Feeling the front of the thighs and the arms giving us strength. And lower. One more time. If you want, take a pause when you need. Head coming down, very top of the head. Starting to lift the hips up. Breath. And lower the butt, reaching the arms out. Let's breathe in as we come up. And now I'm going to reach that right leg straight back, strong and straight. Knee into the belly, trying not to lean my chest backward, keeping my chest over my thumbs. Breathing in, breathing out, pulling it in. Breathing in, reaching it back. Now ask your arms to help you. And in. Dome the shoulders up toward the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Now gentle hip rotations. Starting to feel that heat build. If your wrists start to get sensitive, you can rest on the knuckles of your fists. Trying not to lean left or right so that this right side gets to be a part of our support and starts to heat up. Breath. What's the left leg doing? Where are we feeling the heat? I'm starting to feel a little glow. A little glow. Changing direction. Breath. Pause when you need. Stop when you need. Maybe 2 reps of this, 3 reps of this. Mindfully with a quiet mind and a smooth, even, intentional breath. That's your yoga. When we start to lose any of those components, we come out of yoga, we start to get into workout space, and we start to get into being mean to ourselves space. That's not our yoga. Lengthen that other leg back, breath, extension and length within me. Now there's a heat that also gets generated just by dedication and application, mental dedication and application. Breath in. Exhale, we'll pull that knee in, see what's in the middle of us, and breathe out. I'm sorry, that's an inhale to lengthen, exhale it in. So we'll feel this side. There's probably an ease as we start off on the new side because this side hasn't been doing most of the work. It was doing the support, and that's work, but it's not that engine work. Now we're inviting in that whole piston working of that leg. Starting to stimulate our organs. And now hip rotations when we're ready, feeling out where we are. Remember, smooth, even, calm thoughts and breath. When we start to lose them, take a break because we've disconnected from our yoga practice. And we've started to get into a force space, change direction, into a no pain, no gain space. That is not your yoga. Breath. And I'll bring that knee down, tuck the toes, lift the hips downward facing dog. Can you soften the shoulders, the neck? Maybe change something. I'm going to walk my feet back a little bit longer here, dropping my head and my chest toward the floor.
trying to eliminate or ease around any resistance in my shoulder sockets. Breath in. Exhale. I'm going to make my way up to the top of the mat. Now we could walk it up a big long step, or you could take a bunch of little steps. Be mindful about how you get your feet up there. And then let's lift the chest up. Breath in. Exhale. Let the upper body go. And roll the spine up to standing. So we'll make our way up to a nice upright standing space. And we'll lengthen upright with the arms. Now, shoulders down. I'm going to exaggerate bringing my shoulders up by the ears. I'm going to bring them down. Your hands don't have to be together. Pushing the legs down. Lifting the chest up. Can we build heat here? Can we feel heat here? Where is that heat and what is it coming in the form of? It could be coming in the form of fatigue. It could be coming in the form of boredom. It could be coming in the form of irritation. It could be coming in the form of exertion. There are muscles that are probably starting to work a little bit more. Stand in your legs. Feel that out. What does that mean? How are your feet and your toes connecting with the earth and holding you? Bring some attention and intention into that. How about your calves and your knee joints? Are you super squeezing? Do you need to be? Is one leg doing more work, or are both working evenly? Do you know? Are you holding your breath as you do all this figuring out? Are you squeezing your butt and your pelvis? Do you need to be? What's going on in those arms? What's going on in your neck and your shoulders? Could you soften this at will? Good. Breath in, lift. All heat being generated does not have to be by rapid movement. Exhale, up and over. Breath in. Breath out. Where are you in your feet? Are you in one leg more than the other? Apply a little extra energy in the leg on the opposite side. So I'm bending to my left. I'm going to press down extra through the right. And now let's breathe in as we lift. Exhale over to the other side. Did we even give time there for heat to build? And bring ourselves up, breath in. I'm going to turn sideways. Exhale, twist it open. Shoulders down. Could you grow tall through the breastbone? How heavy are those arms starting to feel? Inhale. Exhale over to the other side. And then what do we do when we confront and feel resistance or working? Do we tense more? Do we greet resistance with force, or do we greet it with softening? What are we learning about our tendencies and our choices? Breath in. Exhale, take it forward. Lifting the chest up, half flat. Plant the palms. You can step back to hands and knees, or you can step back to an extended plank. I'm choosing an extended plank. Breath in. Exhale, lowering ourselves down. Breath in, cobra. Don't strain on the back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, and let's travel the feet up toward the top of our mat. I alternated my lead foot. Breath in, lift the chest. Breath out, let everything go. Bending the knees, pulling the butt back, making a little shelf out of these thighs. And now I'm going to lift my chest up, hands to prayer, finding my chair pose. Breath in, breath out. Where's the weight in your feet? I'm not going to say that it should be anywhere. We're just building that awareness. Are you in an even balance of your weight? Are both of your legs equally supporting you? Or are we making demands of one side more than the other? Breath in. All right, where's the heat building now? Where in your body? Find a few locations. Don't just say, I'm getting hot. I'm feeling the work. Where? Where are you feeling it in your breath? Where in the range of our breath? Is it in the upper registers? Is it way down here? Do we even feel that breath way down here? Is your mind already just going, what is she talking about, right? So where now is the heat in our mind? Breath. Forward fold, let it go. Let the breath out. You can open the mouth. You can make a sound. It's like a pressure cooker, a steamer. We've got to let that energy release. Breath in, half flat. Hands down, stepping back to plank. Make a choice. And let's see how slowly we can lower. Slow. Remember I said changing our pace can also have us start to engage into feeling our heat and our energy in a different way. Breath in, lift. Check in on that heart rate about now and that breath. Exhale, lowering. Bringing ourselves up to hands and knees. And now we'll find our downward facing dog. If you'd rather be at hands and knees right here, if doing another down dog is already like making you think, oh, I don't wanna, then don't. Tilt your tailbone up and down a bit. You can do that in tabletop. Breath in, breath out. Will you give yourselves a modification? That's a heat unto itself. Us finding a way to work on meeting ourselves where we are, confronting our desires and accepting where we are. That's a different kind of heat that gets engaged. I'm going to bring my my left knee down and step my right foot up. I'm going to tuck the back toe, straighten the back leg, and find a lunge. Squeezing inner thighs together. Some of you may need to bring your hands onto the leg to bring yourself up. If you'd like to just see if your torso can bring yourself up on your own, that's up to you. Finding a crescent. Breath in. Breath out. Spin the back foot flat. My back is to you here for this warrior two. Hips are open. If you were to draw a line from the back of this right heel, it would make a perfect capital T with the arch of the back foot. Arms open or not, but maybe feel that heat for a moment. Notice where it is. Are you feeling it in the front of the forearm, under the armpit? Where? Is it all up in the shoulders like you're wearing heavy earrings? Breath. Scoop the tailbone under, grow tall. Where's the breath? Where's your heat? What are you making space for? What are you getting to see more clearly about your patterns? What we avoid, what we just don't want to feel, and what's not so bad. We'll bring the hands down, spin onto the back toe, bring that left hand down and twist. Now your left knee could be down. Where's your breath? Good. We'll bring both hands down. We'll step back to plank. Breath in. Lift the hips up and back, down dog. Shift it forward to plank, wrapping around your midsection. Feel where you are. Breath in. Breath out. Lift the hips up and back. Where did the mind go? Was the mind wondering, oh my God, how long? Oh my God. Or maybe did your mind go, man, was that all? We could do more. If that's what's going on in your mind, maybe confront not needing to do more and look at that type of heat. Look at the heat of being restricted and not getting what we want or what we think we need. That is its own heat. Or do more. That's up to you.
We'll roll it forward one more time. Plank, nipples over thumbs, pushing the legs back. What part of the body is doing what? Squeezing inner thighs together if you're in your extended plank. Breath. What's heating up? Oh, I'm learning something about my groin. It doesn't really want to squeeze. The upper parts of my legs, bottom part of my legs are working fine. They're like, what? Come on, rest of you. Add in, contribute. Breath. Lifting the hips up and back down, dog. I'm going to bring the right knee down, step the left foot up, finding our lunge, tucking the back toes, straightening that back leg, choosing how you want to come up for your crescent. Shoulders are relaxed, faces are soft. When you're ready, maybe stay there, feeling the heat that builds in stillness in different postures. Remember, I said we can generate heat by choice of pose, duration of pose, pacing of a flow in those poses. What's going on? So much is going on while it appears that we're just sitting still, right? There's various body parts that you are very aware of right now, noticing the activity inside of stillness. And then how do we still that activity while also still conduiting, channeling that energy? What are we going to use it for? Or if it isn't serving us, can we let it go? Just ventilate the heck out of it. Good. We'll bring this right hand down to the floor, spin onto the right toes. Maybe your hand is on a block, maybe this knee is down. And revolve, twist, revolve, breath, revolve, observe. And both hands down, stepping to plank. Halfway, chaturanga. Breathe in, breathe out. Lower it down. Good. All right. Good morning, Elizabeth. We will bend our right leg. We're talking about heating things up. How we confront heat, how we avoid heat. What lies do we tell ourselves about our relationship with heat? What can we learn right now in our body palette about how we work with heat? All right, I'm going to bend my left elbow and I'm going to reach back with my right hand and find the foot ankle. You could also wrap a towel or a strap around that foot. I'm going to push down with my left arm and lift the chest. Now, I would describe the heat point here as the stretch points in the front of that right thigh, right hip. Anything that's feeling an intensity, we could translate as heat. I'm going to start to straighten the right leg, letting that lift my chest up and breathe. Got to let my belly breathe. Soften into this intensity. I'm not going to pour gasoline onto the intensity. And I'm going to soften and let that foot go and bring it around to the other side. I like to just bend first, feel what's going on. I'm going to prop myself up with this right arm, reaching back and around, finding that foot. And I'm just going to invite the heel toward my butt for now. And just feel. Let everything start to acclimate. Feel space being created. Remember that spaciousness and creating space was our overarching theme this week of what we're practicing, exploring, and getting to know, opening ourselves to. Do we believe that there is space within us that we have yet to access? I'm going to start to straighten that left leg, letting it lift my chest up. Got some energy in that leg, pressing that shin up and back. Breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. You release whenever you need. Breath in, breath out. What could you soften in your shoulders and your neck? What are we making space for? And where are we feeling space being created in our back, in our belly, in our hips, in our bones? And I'm going to release that leg. Oh. And lower ourselves down, turning our head to one side. Remember that there's still heat and working in applying ourselves into non-doing. Because the application itself is an action. It is an action unto itself. And it's like the difference between slow cooker heat and stir fry heat, right? All right, I'm going to turn my gaze in your direction, and that's to my right. And I'm going to slide my right knee up. Gentle hip opener. Seeing if I can try to allow my body weight to just sink into this hip and let everything rest. Check in with the groin and the pelvis. So as we start to approach some of the postures that are going to close us out in our practice. Once again, I said we could be choosing various poses that help us generate heat and postures that relieve that heat. Or maybe the heated postures made the space for us to sit in some of these other postures. I'm going to prop myself up on my forearms. Now, I'm going to bring my left arm and aim it in your direction, trying to get as much of the back of that shoulder onto the mat as I can. Oh, and I'm going to start to just peel that open, rolling onto my left hip, letting that right arm just splay open. If you want, you could always put a pillow underneath of that right arm so it's not dangling. Breath in, breath out. Now I'm noticing I usually always have my left arm on my right leg in some sort of leverage for extra twisting. And I'm going to consciously deny myself that habitual pleasure, right? That's a habit. And just feel my body as it is. Feel my back navigating, negotiating, acclimating. Feeling my breath.
Noticing my right shoulder and chest. I'm also noticing that it's not as tight as it was when we started. I let my body started to ease into the space that all of that heating up made possible. Letting my belly rise and fall with breath. And slowly rolling back onto my belly. Now, if you want to stay there, by all means, stay there. I'm not even going to be in a hurry to move this knee. Actually, if you'd like to explore it, you could straighten that leg out. So remember yesterday when I talked about creating our home practice space, having enough space is also kind of important. So I had enough space here for me to extend that leg out, and I'm not bumping into anything. Letting go in the groin and the inner thigh. Experiencing my breath in my back. And slowly slide that knee and that leg back in. I'll do a Sphinx as a transition. So our elbows are pinned underneath of the shoulders. Arms are parallel like railroad tracks, pushing down through the forearms, lifting the chest up. Keep the chin level. Feel the downward action through the arms. Breath in. Breath out. Soften your low back. Grow tall through the top of your head. And we'll let ourselves lower down, turning the gaze to the left. And I'll slide this left knee up. And let go. Experience and notice the tummy, all around the tummy. Experience and notice the bones, and the weight of the flesh around the bone. Check in on your breath. What is the quality of the breath you're cultivating? Making space even in your breath so that your breath can carry your intentions. I'm going to prop myself up here. Now I'm going to slide my right arm and see if I can get as much of the back of that shoulder blade onto the mat as I can. I'm going to let this left arm peel open. Whoop, there I go again. See how that arm, my hand was going to press this left knee down. I'm just going to rest here, rolling onto my right hip. Left knee dangling. Breath intentional. Working the breath like it is its own body. Gaining length and space in the breath. The breath is so nuanced and so contoured and so complex. It's just not one great big sack of breath. The breath seeps into the nooks and crannies. Be inside of that process and feel micro spaces being accessed. And what does that do in our mind? Broadening our perspective, broadening our awareness. Fill up your belly with breath. Come into acceptance. Release the neck. Release the weight of the arms. It is what it is. And you're greeting it all, arms wide open, heart revealed. As we are. And we'll gradually roll back onto our bellies. No hurry. Let that be your practice. No hurry. Easing that right shoulder out from under us, keeping that knee hiked. Oh, turning our head to one side, feeling the spine relax and soften. And then maybe see if we can extend that left leg out. I have just enough space without having to move the rest of me. Having my foot is actually pressed on that baseboard, giving me a little leverage. I'll do a little scooch. Feel your existence in this shape. Who are we in this shape? What is possible for us to feel in this shape? What are we making space for in terms of intention in this shape? And we'll gradually bring that left leg back in. Still adhering to no hurry, we'll roll ourselves over onto our backs. So what heat did we feel on any extremes of edges in that twist? What heat or energy did we get to see or confront in our mind? Sometimes just doing things a different way creates that heat in our mind, that heat of resistance or that heat of fear, that heat of unfamiliarity. We'll walk the feet in, knees up, resting the arms down alongside the waist. Go ahead and lift the chin a little now and place the head down. Press down even through both feet, lifting the hips, breath in, breath out lower. Inhale with the breath, movement continuing as more breath comes in. When that stops, movement going downward as the breath goes out. And when that stops, we'll come on back up. Try to let the breath dictate the movement. If there's no breath, there's no moving. If there's no movement, there's no breath. So if you still feel the body moving, make more room for breath, more room, more room. Adjust your pacing of how much breath you're taking in so that you can match your own movement. Breath, movement, feel your spine, feel your hips and buttocks. Start to feel that heat generating. Tops of the thighs maybe first. What are the feet doing? Can you press through different areas of the feet and experience your heat differently? or disperse the heat differently. As you press down through the soles of both feet, could you breathe differently? Could you experience the breath in your spine differently, in your belly differently? Good, and we'll press and lift and hold. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And lower it down. Appreciate heat generation in a static space and a flowing space. I'm going to cross my right ankle above left knee, hugging that left knee in, either holding on top of that left knee, maybe behind the left knee, threading the needle. Ooh, and remember that you're going to feel that heat in the form of intensity. We got to soften around it. Don't pour gasoline on it. Unshrug those shoulders. Make capacity for breath in the tummy. And greet the intensity with acceptance. And there's where we get to start to really practice some more limbs of yoga. Non-harming. We've been practicing acceptance already. That's santosha. Self-study, especially when we confront a habit and we notice, oh, I do that. Oh, I do that thing. Great opportunity for self-study. Not self-judgment, not even self-fixing, just studying. Ooh, I do that. Our yoga mat kind of lets us observe our mind in our natural habitat. The natural habitat of the mind, running around in its own casing, running around saying falsehoods, repeating out loud repetitively all of our worries and our anxieties. And we start to believe all of that chatter because that's the only channel that we have. And I'll lower that left foot down, uncross. We're going to bring the inner thighs together, feet wide, and just let the knees flop. Cool off that heat. Heating up our practice, making space for what gets revealed in our practice, using heat to help us find that space, or better yet, clear out the space. I've been doing a lot of clearing out of space physically in my home, and really helps me use that to reflect when I get on my mat. Like, oh, and what else do we need to be clearing out in our inner house? Clearing out when I get stuck in a habit, because I can get stuck and I'd like to do a thing a certain way. So I try to push myself to a new edge and say, could you change up that routine? All right, I'm going to cross my left ankle above my right knee. You choose when you're ready. And we'll bring this thigh a little closer. Whoa, completely different intensity scale on this side. And actually what I'm greeting here is I've been overdoing a few things. So sometimes when we greet our intensity, we might think, oh, that means I need to do this pose a lot more. So I'm going to now commit to myself doing this pose for 4 minutes every day and all we're doing is creating more intensity, more fight back. So start to notice how you engage your intensity. What do you do when you run into it and you observe it? Is your habit to pour more gasoline on it, or could I back off? Okay, so I don't know if you notice, like this right knee is pointing way more toward the ceiling than when I had the other leg up, because I'm just forgiving and I'm letting that intensity slow down. And it has slowed down, so now I'm just going to pull it in just a few millimeters and breathe. Because it is asking for attention, but it's not asking me for more intensity. It's asking for rest. It's asking for acknowledgement of how weary it is. Ooh, and that speaks volumes for my spirit too. Good. And right before I'm done here, I'm going to see what's the tightest hug this space will allow. And it is allowing a lot better, a little bit more room than it did initially. It was just asking me to take my time, slow down. And now I'm going to bring this right foot down, uncross the legs. I'm going to bring the bottoms of the feet together and let the knees fall open. My right groin is not liking this angle, so I'm going to change the angle by walking my feet a little further away from me. And I'll see if that groin relaxes, and it is. It's starting to relax a bit. I'm not saying I don't want to feel any of the tension point, but the tension point I was feeling was kind of going into the danger. Right, so if you're starting to feel your like inner robot going danger, Will Robinson, switch it, change it. What are we observing in our minds? Or did we go away there for a moment? And just be honest with yourself. It's not a shaming. When you start to notice any sort of shaming thought, just apply a little humor to it. Just say, oh, look at it with amusement. Oh, look, I did that thing. And I'm just going to straighten one leg and let that leg go limp. Straighten the other leg and let that leg go limp. I'm going to adjust my hips for comfort. I'm just going to walk the feet in, lift the hips again, and lengthen the legs once again. My shoulder blades, scooching, wiggling. Let my arms fall away. Eyes are lightly open, eyelids heavy. And bring my attention to my sense of touch around my entire body. Noticing anything I am aware of through my skin. Anything touching my skin, lightly or not so lightly. Our skin are amazing antennae. Temperature, gradations of pressure, gradations of sensation. All for our body covering, our skin, amazing organ. I like to test myself or task myself, that's a better term, task myself. But seeing if I can notice folds of skin touching folds of skin. In my neck, my ears, my breasts, knees, buttock, inside of my belly button. It is a part of me. Can I have a specific awareness? I'll choose one more sense. Hearing. Just allowing my attention to reside on my sense of hearing. Trying not to identify what I hear. Just be in the ears, receiving sound. Layers of sound, spectrum of sound. We'll open the jaw wide, stretch it side to side. Protrude the tongue. Turning the head left and right, awakening our awareness of the skin on our head and neck and throat, of the muscles doing the movement, of our jaw, of our mouth. Reaching the arms overhead, big long stretch, occupying space. Space. And then eventually bringing ourselves upright to a seated space. Sit any way that you like. If you'd like to have your back up against the wall or sit in a chair, accept that support. Spine lifting, intention. Intend to carry the body and let the body carry your spirit. So that means a mindful awareness of our carriage. Mindful awareness of our breath carrying our spirit and drawing something into us. Delivering our spirit and drawing nourishment in for our spirit and our body. Reflect on our relationship with heat. Physically, breath-wise, mentally. And allow an intention to come. Whatever was revealed in your practice. Something you want to carry and remember with you as you go about your day. And bring our hands to our heart center in the Anjali Mudra, holding our heart in our hands. That is this mudra. Mudras are yoga postures for the hands. I like to keep my palms cupped, thumbs lightly touching my breastbone, and I'm holding that intention close to my heart. Visualizing myself wearing that intention, living in that space. So that anytime you bring your hands to your heart this way, you'll recall that intention and you get to live it. All the love and light that is in me is the very same love and light that resides inside of you. So when you're in that space in you, and I'm in that space in me, we are one, never apart. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Please check this out on replay, Home Yoga Practice Live, here on the YouTube Live and our Facebook Live. Also, this weekend, Sunday, feel free to sign up on our website. We have a balance workshop on Sunday. And drum roll, check it all out. on the new justbeyoga.com. We just unveiled a new redesign on our website overnight, so I'm really excited about it. Please check it out. Send me some feedback. My feelings won't get hurt. If there's things that you would like to see changed about it, or you can't find something, definitely let me know if you find a link that's broken. Want to fix broken things. All right, and I can let it go. So anyway, thank you all so much. Look forward to seeing you again in real life and on the interwebs, because remember, we're always connected. Namaste.